Now let us understand how to solve question number 9. So question number 9 is like this. So they have given a right angle triangle which is right angled at B. So let me draw the diagram for you. I'm drawing the diagram in the left hand side. So I'm drawing a right angle triangle, but they have very clearly given that the right angle is at B. So the other two vertex can be named as A and C in any order. The one at the bottom right can be A and the other one can be C as well. But the condition is that the right angle should be at B. So we are discussing question number 9. And what they have given is if tan A equal to 1 by root 3. So they are talking about the angle A, which means that this angle will be 1 by root 3. Tan of this angle will be 1 by root 3. That is what they have given. So we are marking that angle because that is the reference angle that has been given in the question. So when I write the given condition, that is tan A is equal to 1 by root 3. Okay. And we know the formula for tan, isn't it? So tan is nothing but opposite by adjacent. And since it is given in the form of a fraction, we can't be sure that opposite will be 1 and adjacent will be root 3. So we introduce k. Since it's in fraction, we introduce k. So now we have given condition tan is equal to 1 by root 3, which is 1k by root 3k. So the side opposite to angle A, okay, that will be 1k. And the side adjacent to angle A, if you look at the screen, you can understand. The side opposite, look at the red color. The side opposite will be 1k and the side adjacent will be root 3k. So what we are doing here is the side opposite will be 1k and the side adjacent to this will be root 3k. And this side AC has a special name called as hypotenuse. So we are going to calculate the hypotenuse now. So we are applying Pythagoras theorem, which is nothing but square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the square of the other two sides. So I have done AC square equal to AB square plus BC square. So the other two sides are root 3k and 1k. I have substituted them and I have squared them. Root of the square of root 3 is 3. So 3k square plus 1k square, which will give you 4k square. Now this is the value of AC square. In order to get the value of AC, now in the right hand side, we have to take a root and root of 4 will be 2. Okay, and root of k square will be k. So the value of AC is 2k, and which we are going to write it in the diagram. So now we have got the value of hypotenuse 2k. Now having gotten all the three sides, now whatever they're asking you in the question, that we are going to find out. So what all is expected? Sin A is expected. Okay, cos A is expected, sin C is expected, and cos C is expected in both the subdivisions. So we are going to just find the values of them. So sin A, please look at the board. So sin A will be nothing but opposite by hypotenuse, which is 1k by 2k. That is the formula for sine. So which is 1k by 2k. K and k will get cancelled and you will be getting 1 by 2. Similarly, sin C, similarly cos A, because we're taking the angle A as reference. So the formula for cos is adjacent by hypotenuse, which is adjacent side is root 3k, and hypotenuse is something that is opposite to right angle, which is 2k. So here we will be getting adjacent side is root 3k and hypotenuse is 2k for the angle A. Again, k and k will get cancelled. You will be getting root 3 by 2. Now, in the question, in both the subdivisions, they have also asked us to find sin C and cos C also. So this will be angle C. Okay. So now I am changing the reference. I'm going to erase the angle A and I'm changing the reference to angle C. Now, with respect to angle C, sin C will be nothing but opposite by hypotenuse. The opposite for sin is, for C is root 3k and hypotenuse is 2k. So we write it as root 3k by 2k. K and k will get cancelled. You will be getting root 3 by 2. And similarly, cos C. For C, the adjacent side is 1k. The side next to it is 1k and hypotenuse is 2k. Again, after cancelling the case, you will be getting 1 by 2. So these are the values of sin A, cos A, sin C, and cos C. Now we have to substitute them in the first and second subdivision and find the values. Now what we are going to do is we have gotten the values of sine A, cos A, sine C and cos C, and we are going to substitute them in the subdivisions. So subdivision 1 says sine A. So in the place of sine A, I'm going to substitute 1 by 2 into. So basically this represents product between sine A and cos C. So cos C is also 1 by 2. Plus there is an addition in between. Sine cos A. So cos A value is root 3 by 2. Okay, and sine C is also root 3 by 2, all of the which I have written on the right side. So 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 will become 1 by 4. Okay, and root 3 into root 3 will become 3 in the numerator, and 2 times 2 will become 4. So 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. Sorry, 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 is 4 by 4, which is nothing but 1. So 1 is the answer for first subdivision. Now let us try the second subdivision in the bottom part of the screen. So cos A is nothing but root 3 by 2. Cos C is nothing but 1 by 2. And they have written a minus sign. So minus sine A is 1 by 2. And sine C is root 3 by 2. Now what happens to this? This becomes root 3 by 4 minus root 3 by 4. Isn't it? 1 into root 3 is root 3. So now we get 0. So this is the answer for second subdivision. For first subdivision, the answer is 1. And for the second subdivision, the answer is 0. So with this step, we finish question number 9. Now let us look at 10th question. 10th question is quite important. So again, in the question they have given, there is a triangle which is PQR, which is right angled at Q. So I'm drawing a triangle. Okay. So I'm drawing the triangle and I'm naming it as PQR. I can even take this as P, but Q should be 90, which is very clearly given in the question. And this is R. They have clearly given that the right angle should be Q. So this I'm marking it as angle Q. Now in this question, they have given PQ as 5. So this has been very clearly given as 5 centimeters in the diagram. I'm updating it to the diagram. So PQ has been given as 5, but the other two sides have been given as a sum, which means whatever the value of PR and whatever the value of QR, when you add both of them, you get 25. So we cannot say individually they will be 12.5, 12.5, or they will be 10 and 15, or they will be 20 and 5. We don't know, right? So for that reason, they have given both the sides put together as 25. Now, what we can do here is we can take either of the sides as x, and then we can find all the sides using the Pythagoras theorem. So what I mean by that is, let me assume the value of PQ as x for convenience. So I'm writing the step. So let PQ is equal to x. We assume it as x. Now, as per the given condition in the question, okay, look at the bottom left of the screen. So as per the given condition in the question, they have given that PR plus QR is equal to 25 centimeters. This is very clearly given in the question, which means both of the sides put together will be 25. Okay, individually they can be anything. They can be 13, 12, they can be 11 and 14. Because when you add both the sides, you get 25. Individual values we don't know. Out of which we have already assumed the value of QR as x. I'm sorry, this should be QR. Okay, so let QR is equal to x. So we have assumed the value of QR as x, isn't it? So now what will happen? Now PR plus, in the place of QR we have x is equal to 25. So PR will be 25 minus x. X goes to the right side. So this is 25 minus x. So this also I am updating it in the diagram. 25 minus x. This also I'm updating it in the diagram. And now we are going to apply the concept of Pythagoras theorem. So I'm doing it on the right side of the screen. So by Pythagoras theorem, what happens is hypotenuse square, which is nothing but PR. Okay, so PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. So this is the formula for Pythagoras theorem. Now what is PR? PR is nothing but 25 minus x. Please do listen. So this is the whole square. PQ is 5 and QR is, sorry, QR is X. Again, X square. Now the left hand side looks like A minus B the whole square. So when we expand it, you get A square, which is 625, minus 2AB, which is 50X, plus B square, which is X square, is equal to the square of 5 is 25, and then we have X square. Left hand side we are applying A minus B the whole square. Now X square and X square will get cancelled. Minus 50X, when it goes to the right side, it becomes plus 50X. 25, when it comes to the left side, it gets subtracted. So we get 600 is equal to 50X. And finally, we get X is equal to 600 divided by 50. Because 50 comes to the left denominator. So now we get the value of X as 12. 12 centimeters. This is the value of X. And so if you look at the diagram, red color, so the value of X is gotten as 12. And when you substitute that 12 in this, we also get the hypotenuse as 25 minus 12. Okay, so basically hypotenuse is 25 minus X. The value of X that we have just found is 12. So this becomes 13 centimeters. So now we have got all the three sides. So once we have got the values of X and the hypotenuse, let us substitute all of this in the diagram. That is, the value of X is 12 and the hypotenuse is 30. So in the diagram, what we are going to do is, we are going to substitute these values. So in the place of 25 minus X, now it is going to become 13 centimeters. And also in the place of PQ, that is X, we are going to substitute 12 centimeters. Now having gotten all the values, now we are able to proceed with the problem wherein they have asked us to find sine P, cos P and tan P. So as you all know, the formula for sine is opposite by hypotenuse. With respect to angle P, the opposite is 12 and the hypotenuse is 13. So the answer will be 12 by 13. Likewise, cos P. So cos P is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse. For P, this is the adjacent side, that is 5, and hypotenuse is 13. So answer will be 5 by 13. And also for tan P. Tan P, the formula is opposite by adjacent. Opposite is 12 and adjacent is 5. So therefore we get 12 by 5. So these are the three answers that are expected out of question number 10. And also we cannot directly go to these three answers because we need the other sides. That is why we went from the Pythagoras theorem step. I hope you are all able to understand. Now let us look at 11th question. So these questions are based on true or false. So what we are going to do is we are going to draw a triangle just for our reference. Because most of the questions are based on A, we are going to take A as one of the acute angles. Because if you look at the question, out of the 5 subdivisions, 3 subdivisions are based on the angle A. So let me take this as A and this as B and this as C. Just a triangle for our reference so that you're able to understand it better. So this is the right angle. Now, first and foremost thing that we have to understand, even before getting into all these true or false questions, is in any triangle for that matter, the hypotenuse will be the longest. For example, if I give you options like 3, 4 and 5, this cannot be 3 or 4. Hypotenuse should be the longest, which means hypotenuse should be 5. So with this clarity, let us get into the concept. First subdivision is the value of tan A is always less than 1. Okay, so we all know that tan A is nothing but opposite by adjacent. This is the formula for tan. And they have given the value of tan A is always less than 1. So before we get into this question, let us try to understand when is a fraction less than 1 and when is a fraction greater than 1. As you can see on the board, if the numerator is greater than the denominator, I'm just taking some random example. If the numerator is greater than the denominator, then the fraction is greater than 1. If the numerator is less than the denominator, then the value will be less than 1. This will be greater than 1 and this will be less than 1. If both the numerator and denominator are same, then the value fraction will be equal to 1. So this is not needed. But as a general rule, you need to understand that if the numerator is more, if the numerator is greater, than the denominator, then we get a value which is greater than 1. If the numerator is less than the denominator, then we get a value which is less than 1. With this understanding, let us approach this particular problem. So now in this particular problem, what they have given, the value of tan A is always less than 1. So what they are trying to say, that it will be of this type. The value of tan A will be of this type, which basically means that the numerator will be less than the denominator. But in reality, the opposite side be, for example, if I take two triangles, the opposite side can be smaller or the opposite side can be longer. If you look at this angle, the side opposite to this angle is smaller. But here the side opposite to it can be longer also. So there is no rule that always the opposite side should be smaller. But if it should be less than 1, then it obviously means that the numerator should be less. But there is no rule that opposite should be less than the adjacent. So therefore, the first subdivision is false. So that is the idea behind the first one. So basically, it means that we know that the formula for tan A is opposite by adjacent. If it has to be less than 1, then the numerator should be less than the denominator, which means opposite side should be less than adjacent side, which may be the case, but not always. So first one will be false. Second subdivision. So as you all can see, again from the same formula, they have given sec A is equal to 12 by 5. So the formula for sec is nothing but hypotenuse divided by adjacent. So as you can see clearly, the hypotenuse should be the longer side. So it's very clear that the hypotenuse is greater than the adjacent side. Okay, so the hypotenuse is 12, which means hypotenuse is quite greater and adjacent is very much smaller than the hypotenuse. So this is true because such a situation can exist. But if the same question was cos A is equal to 12 by 5, then it would have been false because the formula would be adjacent by hypotenuse, and the adjacent side, as you can see, 12 is greater than the hypotenuse, which is 5. So then it would have been false, but otherwise here it is true. So this is something that we need to understand. Since the hypotenuse is a greater value, we accept for the fact that this is true. So this is regarding second subdivision. So this should be true because the hypotenuse is greater than the adjacent side. Third subdivision is cos A is the abbreviation used for cosecant. It is false because cos A is the abbreviation of cosine. The whole name for this trigonometric ratio is cosine. So for cosine, it is cos. For cosecant, it is cosec. So they have given cos is the abbreviation of cosecant, which is false. Actually, cos is the abbreviation of cosine of angle A. And then fourth subdivision, this is quite an interesting question. This is also false. I'll tell you why. Cot A is the product of cot and A. For example, this can also be visualized because in the way like cot is nothing but a function. Okay, what I mean by function? For example, if I say a bunch of flowers, okay, and if I just say a bunch of, when I say a bunch of, it doesn't have any meaning. Similarly, when I say a pile of or a herd of, it doesn't, so it's half. In the sense, it is not complete. Likewise, when I say cot, it is not complete. When we use trigonometry, we are talking about an angle. So what I mean by this is cot A is not cot into A, because cot by itself doesn't have any meaning. It has meaning only if there is an angle associated with it. This is very similar to P of X in polynomials. Because in polynomial, if it's only P, we don't have a meaning. When we say P of X, it means polynomial of X. If we say P of Y, it means a polynomial having the variable Y. Likewise, if we say cot A, it means cot of angle A, which means this cot by itself, all by itself, doesn't have any meaning. It is nothing but cot of angle, sine of angle, or any angle for that matter. So this cot, what in the question they have given that cot A is nothing but cot into A, isn't it? So cot separately doesn't have any meaning. So therefore, this is also false. It cannot be written as a product. Cot A is cot A. Cot A is not cot into A because individually cot doesn't have any meaning. And likewise, fifth subdivision, if I look at sine theta is equal to 4 by 3, theta is opposite and 3 is hypotenuse. That is the formula. So now what they've given, opposite is greater than the hypotenuse, which is never possible. They've given the value as 4 by 3. We know the formula is opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite is given as 4, whereas hypotenuse is 3. But hypotenuse should be the longest side, right? So this is also false. So except for the second subdivision, all others are false. So this finishes exercise 8.1. With this, we get it done. So let's get into the next exercise.